You're about to make a decision, and you're thinking that it's coming from clarity. It is not. This is one of these moments where people just give their authority away and call it intuition. And it feels so real. It feels aligned. It feels justified. But if you slow down for a second, there's no clarity there. There's lots of pressure. You feel like you have to act. You feel like you cannot sit in this anymore. And you start thinking, maybe I should reach out. Maybe I should end it. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe I just need to do something. But urgency hasn't been really a very solid decision maker. Urgency just wants the relief. And most people don't make wrong decisions. They make premature ones. So what's the confusion? You already see what's happening. You already feel what is off. But acting on that truth would cost you something. It would cost you your comfort. It would cost you attachment, cost you the version of the story that you're hoping would work. It is costing you your fantasy. So instead of making a clean decision, you move from the emotion and you call the outcome fate. This is where the distortion comes right in. Neptune doesn't lie to you. It amplifies what you want to believe. And it makes that feeling feel meaningful. It makes the moment feel like this has to happen right now, yesterday. But not every feeling is intuition. Some feelings are just patterns, ingrained habits, activating on schedule. And this is where Saturn steps in. Saturn doesn't really care how it feels. It just asks one question. Can you actually stand by this decision once the emotion is gone? Not right now, way after. Once that initial intensity drops and the whole thing stabilizes, solidifies. When you have to live inside of what you have chosen. That's the real test here. And Venus in Taurus brings it back to very, very simple things. Value, not the potential, not the fantasy, not the chemistry, not the story, not the narrative, the value. Does it actually hold in your life? Does it sustain and support you? Or are you negotiating again? Because this is the part people love to avoid. It's not necessarily even a relationship problem. You have a standard that you keep negotiating over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And every time you lower it just slightly, meeting people where they are, rather than them meeting you where you are, you're not fixing the connection. You are reinforcing the pattern. So let's make this real for you now. Where exactly are you giving your authority away right now? Aries, you're deciding whether to keep choosing someone or finally choose yourself just to keep the peace. But if it costs you your value, how is it balanced? Taurus, you're putting your energy into maintaining something that shouldn't be requiring so much hard work and so much effort. You think that consistency can prove love in a broken relationship? Well, it doesn't. It just proves that you're willing to tolerate it. Gemini, you're pulled towards something that feels very exciting to you, but it's familiar in the way that you're not questioning yet. Attraction is not always this alignment story. Sometimes it's just a redoing the old pattern. Cancer, you are holding on to something that just feels nice and safe because it has this beautiful history behind it. It feels like home. But familiar doesn't necessarily mean aligned, especially if you're evolving over it. It just means that you once lived here before. Leo, you know exactly what needs to be said and you're just not saying it. Just because you don't want to disrupt the dynamic. But every time you hold back that truth, you lose your authority. Virgo, you are accepting less that you actually believe that you deserve and you want, because it can seem reasonable, can seem practical. Are your standards that realistic? They're just inconvenient to the wrong people. Libra, this is about you, not them this time. You could be losing yourself inside the connection, trying to maintain the balance. But if you just fully disappear from this process, guess what? There is no balance. Scorpio, you already know, you already seen it, and you're choosing not to act on it because the attachment, the bond is stronger than the truth. What you're avoiding seeing is what controls you. Sagittarius, you're keeping something in your life that doesn't necessarily fit your future. It works in moments of inspiration, but maybe not necessarily in reality. If it doesn't work daily, it won't work long term. Capricorn, you're choosing based on what makes sense, what looks right, that fits the structure. But does it feel real to you? And a life that looks great, but feels misaligned on the inside, it's not an alignment to life. Aquarius, you're trying hard to think your way through something that you just need to feel. You're analyzing, rationalizing, explaining, overthinking, but your body already knows. And if your body isn't settled, it is not right. Pisces, you're in something unidentified and maybe even unrefined, unspoken, unclear. And you're avoiding making it sharp, direct, simple, common sense. And if you don't define it, it defines you. So all you guys just need to decide what you're no longer available for, because awareness without that decision is how you stay exactly where you are. And this is the part that many people just don't say out loud. Clarity isn't the problem. Ownership is. And if you are in this moment right now where you feel this pressure to act, please pause. Look at what you already see around you and decide from that, not from the feeling. That's where your authority is. And that's the only place the real decisions come from. And if you want a deeper insight into your relationship, timing, or pattern, you already know where to find me. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Appreciate you being here. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you next video. Bye.